Third reason why it's awesome to be an American investor.
This is a little bit more of a nuanced point, but awareness, participation. I mean, in the U.S. has the good fortune of having the number one performing stock market in the world from 1900 to 2014. There's a great report that comes out every spring called the Credit Suisse Global Investment Returns Yearbook. It measures measured last year 115 years worth of data across 26 countries. The U.S. had the number one performing market from 1900 to 2014.
Yay!
Australia was in second. But of the 26 countries studied from 1900 to 2014, 25 of them, stocks outperformed bonds and cash. The only country, you guys want to take a guess? The only country that wasn't the case in? China. Yeah, which went communist in the middle of the 20th century. So it's
never good for your investment portfolio.
Yeah. The long-term investors in China and right around 1940 got wiped out. But the point is the stock market in each country, and that's notwithstanding the fees, and that's notwithstanding the home market bias and the lack of choice. Stocks outperform other asset classes over long periods of time across the world. It's been proven for over a century in multiple different markets, spanning world wars and various calamities and catastrophes of the 20th century and the early 21st century. But it's true that stocks outperform other asset classes. And yet in America, we have, the stat is something, and Robert, you probably know this stat more than I do, but it's something like 50% of Americans own stocks directly or indirectly through at least through mutual funds. In the UK, the stat is somewhere in like the 17 to 18% range. In Germany, it's somewhere in the 13% range. And even if you scratch the surface of those figures, so in Germany, for example, this is an anecdotal example, but it is our belief, and this is the belief of the Motley Fool Germany team, that about half of that 13% is actually kind of focused on day trading. And there's a lot of, if you go into a German investment website, if you can read German, you'll see a lot of charting software and a lot of stuff that is based on like the MACD and like the moving average stuff. And it's typically short-term focused. It's not a lot about the fundamentals of the business and how it's managed and what kind of reception it gets to its products from its customers, et cetera.
Which is how we like to invest at the Motley Fool.
Which is how we like to invest at the Motley Fool. So the idea that inflation is scary and what are the alternatives for your money? Well, the single best thing that you could have done over the last 115 years is put it in stocks in 25 out of these 26 countries. And yet less than 1 out of 5 in the UK and Germany is actually invested in the stock market.